A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan, wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirits.
I'm not ready.
Finish it now.
Persons, I'm not quite sure where they're disposing their waste at this point in time. Then you have dead animals that if we don't deal with that situation, right, you're trying to bury them, but I don't want none of the pet lovers to say anything, but you might have to burn some of them just to try and get rid of the carcass out of the space so that it doesn't become a host for some vector, some disease-causing agent. So there are going to be a lot of concerns, and I'm saying this is ground zero. This is a place where we've had more than 50% of the deaths. If we do not get urgent attention, and I'm not being an alarmist, I keep saying to persons, if you do not believe me, if you think that I'm just on a soapbox making noise and pontificating, just come and have a look. I'm not trying to get people to overwhelm the space who are not doing anything in the space, right, to cause the traffic to be bad. But I'm saying, if you don't believe me, take a look at it. It is really that bad. You also have...
He's standing, he's that short. I'm sure he is standing. Minister. Okay. Minister, are you aware that the clinic at Roehampton is flat? The one at Catadupa, Maroontown, Garlands, Welcome Hall, Cambridge, those are perhaps 40 to 50% destroyed. I heard you speak earlier about bringing some tarpaulin to some of those. I don't think tarpaulin can help with the damage that they've sustained. I don't know if you've received the reports yet, but we urgently need a field clinic in at least 2 parts of the constituency. Given the wide geographic spread of South St. James, it takes up half of St. James. You may need to put one on the Maroontown, Garlands, Niagara side and another over by Cambridge. I heard you report earlier that you sent a mobile clinic into Cambridge and Maroontown. It's the first news to me. In fact, I had Mama's Mission and Dr. Dawes on Sunday operating a mobile clinic in Maroontown, and they saw over 100 people. So I'm surprised to hear that that mobile clinic was there a day or 2 before and so many people hadn't seen it. So I'm asking, Minister, if when the decisions are taken about sending in relief, whether it is medical or food or whatever, if the political representatives, the people's representatives, can be so informed so they can further inform the people. And more importantly, I've been trying to get my mother's medication, she's hypertensive, in Montego Bay, and most of the pharmacies, as you know, are still closed because they have no water, they have no electricity. I've become a drug distributor, yes. A drug distributor. Every week,
I think you are all fully aware, you know. I think you're all fully aware.
Yes. Obviously, it's legal drugs. I am the queen of the South. But Minister, every week that I come into Kingston, I'm taking back bag loads of prescription for the constituents. So I'm asking Minister, if you can help us through the NHF to get a mobile pharmacy going around the constituency to relieve me of the burden. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, if I may, the questions are piling up and I may actually miss a few of them. I'll try to be as efficient as possible. So in terms of the first question from the member from Eastern Westmoreland, I have to respond on behalf of my colleagues that when you see me, you see my colleagues and the Prime Minister. So we work together as a team. Well, let me just say that. But secondly, I appreciate the compliments and so on, but just want to make that point. Secondly, though, in terms of the volunteers, remember, in terms of the volunteers, there is a mechanism, it's an important point, there's a mechanism to vet all the volunteers that are in the field representing health service delivery. We have a registration, having looked and validated documentation, and that goes to the nursing council or the medical council as the case may be, and then those persons are given the approval to operate, to act in the field. These are persons, of course, coming in from outside. I mean, you have private physicians that would be registered anyway. So no one should be giving health services, prescription, giving medical advice unless they are certified so to do. And there is a temporary approval process that we go through. If you see that happening or sense that is happening, then please send us the information on that. And there are many that we have certified. So that's the process that we go through. In terms of NCDs, non-communicable and communicable diseases, that's what the farmers.
Jamaica Andrew Wickedness finally give you STD, suffering transmitted depression.
Just as strokes, you know, and he must turn on the back way, take off the condom, and give on your backers, and give on STD. Suffering transmitted depression. When you say that him a good now? Eh? Because someone can factor in context. But Jamaica, let me big up the real hero them today. Let me big up the hero them today. We still a fight for the Jamaican people. We still a prevent Andrew from collecting the millions. So Jamaica, when you hear say, Canada donated $50 million, it's goods and service. Most of the international community not giving Andrew any money of great, like first time they would have really give you 50 million in cash. That now go on Jamaica. They might give you aid. Because the real warriors have been writing to the Privy Council, to King Charles, to the United States, to the governments, the United Nations, and them explain why Andrew not forget no cash. That's how I see them give millions in goods and service. You see? Big up the real hero them. Where take this fight on. Big up all of the lawyers. Big up all of the warriors who write these letters to the heads of governments and present them case about Andrew Owen's corruption, and that is under investigation. That is the reason why they must not give him any cash. You see, Jamaica? The real heroes is fighting. But yes, Jamaica, at Penn, him bring that in the office. And so far, the diaspora has donated $170 million into the government purse. Yeah? First time Jamaica would have gone way over that. But the people have heard the call that Andrew is too corrupt and him cannot get certified by now. Yes, Jamaica, I said so. But Jamaica, let me tell you something. Be careful of all of the little hardware them want to go see spring up around the place. Stack out and sell you materials. Don't buy it. You hear me say? Don't buy it. You must unite Jamaica and all a stand. Because them goods that come for give you for free. And there's no way the government will have none of them cronies who open up the damn hardware and sell on no material. Because we hear the chat of them, you know. We hear the planning already. Them shell company when them try to open. So when contract ready for run, them friend hardware where them set up with them go stack with the relief goods. Yeah, man, we hear the argument. I could tell the public. We have to learn for all in Jamaica. Now is the time for unite. Now is the time for unite. And make sure, just like Beryl, $75 million still unaccountable for. Government not telling you where the money they gone. Then take it and use it, keep election, which the money was given. This donation was given for the people to replace them houses, build back them roof, get them life back together. But the government bully you and keep it and stay silent. So big up the real warrior them this time. We're right to Privy Council. We're right to King Charles. We're right to the Congress. We're right to Canada, heads of government, and warn them and present the case that Andrew Holness is under investigation, and then present the case so well that the international community is listening. This is why Jamaica, you hear say $80 million is not cash Andrew getting, goods and service. The people are here to cry of the Jamaican people, and the people that can fight for you, Jamaica, is still fighting to make sure what has been given to you, you receive it. Jamaica, time for the unite. I'm telling you, I know you're desperate right now, but learn to hold the order. You see, learn to hold the order and fight back against Andrew STD, suffering transmitted depression. I said so.
From Manchester Northwest.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through you, I'd like to ask the Minister of Finance a few questions pertaining to the order that she has brought to the House. Can the Minister say why it has taken 5 years for another constituency development project? This is phase 8. Phase 7 was in 2020. And just by the minister's admittance that this program is supposed to be every 3 to 4 years, why has it taken 5 years for constituencies that have been affected by bauxite to be seeing any resources, any at all? Secondly, can the minister say if there will be an increase over the measly sum of $4 million that has been given to constituencies like Northwest Manchester every 3 to 4 years for projects financed through this program? Can the minister also say which are the projects, that $1 billion that she mentioned in the last financial year, were these projects? Which communities, which constituencies were they done in, and how much was spent on each of these projects? Because I know constituencies like mine in Northwest Manchester saw no additional projects outside of the $4 million that was attributed to Northwest Manchester in 2020. And a member from South Manchester is saying that he saw none in southern Manchester also. And last question, will we be seeing the regular allotment to these constituencies, and not when it is that the administration see fit that constituencies that have been affected by bauxite will see the regular flow of funds coming from the CDF?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. St. Catherine Northwest is the home of the Windalco bauxite plant. And while I heard of the multiplicity of things the bauxite industry may have contributed in its very long history, and none of us in Northwest St. Catherine could claim that there is no benefit to bauxite. It is a chief employer of most persons in Northwest St. Catherine, and as far as the multiplier effect is extensive. However, this bill before us that states $4 million for each MP I believe, Madam Speaker, is evidence to each constituency, to each bauxite affected constituency. Yes, the amount is. Yes, we know what it is. Yes, we know what it is. Yeah? Yes. But it's allocation of 100 million, and I want to be very open so that my constituents don't believe that we have 100 million. That is 100 million to all, divided among all of them. And to that extent, simple mathematics would suggest that if there's any equity, it's no more than $4 to $5 million per person. To that extent, Madam Speaker, I think it proves that there is no real plan for life after bauxite. It has been indicated that bauxite should have between 10 and 15 years left of effective and efficient production. And we have the history and evidence of life after banana. We have the history and evidence of life after sugarcane. And we see how the suffering had come to those communities that were once dependent for employment and activity. We see in this plan no industry development proposal. We have not seen a life after bauxite plan being put forward for any community. I have not seen it for Northwest St. Catherine, and I am not sure if the other MPs have seen one, but there is no such plan for us to say we are going into this replacement industry. We are going into this replacement activity. And to that extent, it seems as if we are running full speed into the abyss with no plan for the people that are currently directly dependent on the bauxite industry. Indeed, Madam Speaker, we have seen without any conversation the end of what the public call dust money, the contribution to the community due to the nuisance of the dust from bauxite. I see the minister is a little engaged at this point, but this dust money that used to come to the communities have ended with no conversation to the communities where they would get a quarterly contribution for the dust nuisance that would come from it. In Northwest St. Catherine, we know that the bauxite industry have robbed us of the river. Multiple slates of pollution coming into the river that has caused for not only the economic viability of fishing, but the recreational activity of swimming. I have not. Madam Speaker, I'm asking for your protection.
Members, the member is asking you to allow him to speak. While on his feet, he should be heard.
Madam
Go
Speaker.
ahead, member from St. Catherine West.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, we have been robbed of our rivers. The constant pollution has caused for the habit of recreation in our rivers to end because persons have identified the probability of pollution in the river. We have the caustic pollution. We have seen on multiple occasions the fish kills within the same spaces that we have not been able to benefit from. Madam Speaker, we have also seen where a lot of agriculture are not conducive to the space because especially vegetables suffer under the dust created by the bauxite plant. I speak as well for a school called Paliment High School that is in direct proximity to what is called the Mud Lake. And at Paliment, listen, I win by nearly 3,000, so you can talk to me when I get closer. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, Paliment High School have reported a multiplicity of reports of breathing problems among their children, and to that extent we have not seen that level of investment coming from backside. Let's give an example, Madam Speaker, of a place with the production of bauxite. We have no clinic in Loud+Damion of any worth. The clinic in Loud+Damion falling apart. We have no clinic in Treadways, not falling apart, non-existent, in Treadways. The clinic in Linstead, has been asking for a dressing table to dress wounds that come to that clinic. This is a bauxite community. So with all of the conversations of how great this bauxite is, the limited interface that we have seen suggests to me that the bauxite industry is not playing a satisfactory role in the space. I join my colleague from St. Anne about a hidden problem with the bauxite industry. While it is that many a farmer is robbed of the areas that were mined, the ownership of the bauxite industry of other lands not mined and not being able to be utilized has robbed our communities of economic and housing opportunities because they hold them dear to simply ownership. These are not mined out. You know, have no bauxite, leave me alone. Madam Speaker, of course we want to focus on the rehabilitation of the mined out lands. Of course we want to find usage of mined out lands. But I say to you, Madam Speaker, that there is no way we could claim that 14, 15, 20 greenhouses could be a legitimate plan of replacement for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 dependent individuals on that thing. A more extensive development. And while, Minister, not criticizing that start, what I'm saying is that I can identify thousands of acres not being mined but under ownership of the bauxite that they have not allowed for usage. And it is creating in some of our constituencies a facilitator of criminal activity through squatting on these lands, right? And also through non-utilization. Additionally, no, I lost there by 200 votes. Additionally, Madam Speaker, I join the member from South Manchester about the lack of coordination and facilitation of the bauxite industry towards the people's representatives as member of parliaments in the area. It is not unusual that the bauxite industry would give scholarships and without knowledge of whom they gave the scholarships to, that the member of parliament office double dip with those individuals, and regardless of requests, that has never been granted, neither to us nor our requests sent to them for that to be done. They give no consideration to the people's representatives. Madam Speaker, the rust of the roofs caused by the dust from the bauxite cannot be replaced by the limited contributions that are being given. If we should give 10 sheets of zinc, 6 pieces a lot and 2 pounds a nail, that's $52,000. This amount might give 80 individuals a contribution. Any bauxite community, in particular those in the production communities, the caustic is causing extensive damage to roof, extensive damage to crop, and extensive damage to furniture. I don't know of the lifestyle. Madam Speaker, I hope the minister can also imply and indicate to us how much money is currently owed to the treasury by these bauxite companies. It is our information that quite a bit is still owed to the government by these bauxite companies. And we'll also like to know for how long this has been owed, because this is a key indicator as to why we are not benefiting sufficiently from the bauxite plant. I welcome the statement from the minister that no bauxite entity or constituency community should be without water. I know piped water. I know that Windalco have its own well, for example. And we hope that as a part of its contribution to the community, that Windalco will consider in a more permanent way to provide for that into our constituencies. So we are happy that this is before us, but we are concerned that what is being granted through an institution is not sufficient to plan for life after bauxite, nor to mitigate the negatives, the cost of the negatives that the bauxite industry has created. With that, Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Minister.
My people, I yes, so me I go left it. Wanna tell me what you think, wanna tell me how you feel about this, and put an honest opinion in the comment section. Like up the video, share it out, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome and big up on a nice clean self.